This video is a brief explanation on how the software works for Bodystat's Touch Screen Quadscan Platinum software as an example. They're all pretty much the same, but in this example I'm using the Body Manager Platinum software for Quadscan. So on the main page we've got a list of all our subjects, all our subject names which you have created manually in the assignment section under device info, or you can just go to the all subjects page, click new subject, and you can add all the details here, which is quite self-explanatory. You can add as much or as little as you like. They're not all obligatory. You can even add a photo, and then at the end you just create subject. I'll cancel this one for now. So for example, once you have a subject created, you can click into that subject and you have on the left hand side all the menu bar, and just by hovering over it you can see exactly what these icons mean. The first one's the profile, so it's just a summary of the subject's data that you've added in, and you can edit that at any time. You can also export it, by the way, to Excel, all the test data, and you can delete a subject here too. So all the other test information is on the right hand side, so just click this arrow. You can add notes here. All the tests for that particular patient or client are listed here, and just by clicking onto them will show that particular test. And you have raw data just as a brief glance to see, okay, they were this age, weight, height, activity, and just have a look and see their results. So that's just a quick glance. So to go into the data with a little bit more detail, on the left hand side we've got analysis, we've got test information, so all the list of all the tests are here with the device, and pretty much all the information that you need to know about the test that comes directly from the hardware device. You can export this as well into Excel. Next one down is analysis. So you have body composition, hydration, cellular health, BEVA, which is vector analysis, impedance graph, your aerobic and lung function, blood pressure, cholesterol, flexibility, grip, and glucose. Now these last four are values that do not obviously come from the Bodystat device, and you can add those values in manually from separate tests that you might have for that particular client. You can actually disable these menu items from within the settings, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Firstly, body composition. So body composition for that top test, here are the results. The green indicates normal range, yellow slightly out of it, slightly out of the normal range, and the more orange you get is the worst or the furthest away from the normal range. And we've got units, weight, and percentage in fat, lean, and water, and total weight as well. And then we have this in body composition and waist-hip ratio as well. So you can copy these images by just clicking here, and you can also save the image here just by clicking, and you can also enlarge it. And that's the case for each of those images. And you can generate a report, which will take you to the report section, which is also on the left here. So we won't do that just at the moment while I'm showing you through the analysis section. We've also got the hydration, same sort of thing. You just have a quick glance of where the patient or the client is in terms of hydration, and you can expand each of those diagrams. And we've got the normal ranges here and intra and extracellular water displayed on a pie chart. Next one down will be cellular health. So we've got the prediction marker in this case because we're looking at the quad scan. We have prediction marker and we have phase angle also listed. So prediction marker in this example is a 0 because it's actually using a database with the MDD. So a same sort of thing, you can expand and you can make these images larger or smaller, and then you've got the normal ranges here as well. And the vector analysis, same sort of thing, you can choose your population group and your results will be plotted on the vector graph with the resistance and the reactance on the y-axis. And if you're within a healthy range, a normal range, you'll be in this as close to the center as possible. So ideally, you'll be right in the center, but no one ever is. So it's slightly a higher, lower, or to the right or the left, and this will indicate if you're slightly more dehydrated, overhydrated towards the bottom, and obese down here, and lean towards the top. So the vector analysis is useful because it plots a lean muscle mass against hydration, and the higher the phase angle, the bigger this angle here, where you can see there's an angle. If the line actually is quite narrow and comes up here, that phase angle will be a lot smaller, and actually it does indicate a lot less muscle. Cake means muscle wasting. So you can see actually how phase angle often does not pick up overhydration. So if you've got a plot that just comes here, you've actually got a high phase angle, but you're in the overhydrated section here. So when you are overhydrated, phase angle is not always as accurate, and that's the reason. So we've also got the impedance graph here as well, just some figures of, you've got your reactance, resistance, phase angle, and your impedance graph, which shows a very healthy graph. When you have an impedance graph which is a bit more flat, it shows a bit more of a diseased state. You want to have big differences between impedance. So we won't bother going through to the lung function and all of this. This you can add in, you can have a look on your own. The next one down is motivation, health. Right, so for each of the subjects, you can change the gender, change the age, and click into the cholesterol and blood pressure and see if they're smoking or have diabetes, and this will generate a report, like a health report. Same sort of thing for weight loss. You've got your body weight and then your goal weight. So, for example, if we put in 72 kilos, it'll say weight changes rate. So we normally say 0.5 per week. So dietary change, you need to cut down on 550 kilocalories per day, unless you can add some activities. So there's certain grades of activities that you can add into moderate, intense, and duly intense, and just click on what is appropriate and how many days a week and how many minutes a day you do that. And it will calculate by how many calories you have to decrease to gain this goal weight within a certain amount of days. So the trends, we've got all of these listed as trends as well, which you can view for your clients to monitor progress. And for each of those, we've got reports. So reports are probably going to be the most important place for you to go to and to print off for clients who want to see how they're doing over a specific time, and a go-to place for all their data. So this is the body composition professional report, and it lists basically everything that we have gone through on a nice colorful graph. You can export this as well as a PDF, or you can send that directly to an email as well. So we also have the health report, and you can just click on whichever test you want to create, and we've got the weight loss physiology, and we've also got a summary report, which is just a one-page quick summary of the main details if people aren't interested in too much. The physiology report is the same as the body composition professional, but it does include all the blood pressure, the lung function, and those kind of data. So if you have that data, you can use the physiology report. Here's the print button as well if you want to print. So just going into settings, and to show you what you can change, you can change languages here, and that will automatically change the language. You don't have to restart the software. This is just the trend chart access. You've got some options of having it as just date or date and time. Normally people only have it as date unless you're doing lots and lots of tests in one day. You have your device here and your key, so listed here. If your device is paired, your serial key will have been added here. Now here we go, we've got these menu items. So if you don't have any data for aerobic activity, lung function, blood pressure, you can unclick all of those and just there's no save button, you just unclick it and it will automatically save. Now this is also a very useful section under organization. You can type your organization name, telephone number and email and 3 lines of your address and add your company logo, and this will appear on each report that you print out, and you can customize that to your own company. This is where your database is saved, so this is always just good to know, but you don't need to change that at all. Here we've got under the profile of each subject, you can add certain items. So if you're particularly dealing with someone who has cancer or lymphedema or something like that, you can add that subject in and add that item in and just add it to the list, and it'll come down in the drop down bar underneath the profile. Same as occupation and referred by certain people and what kind of sport, and that's all within the profile. You can add it in the profile section as well when you're creating subjects. Equations, this is where the equations are. This is on children at the moment, usually it'll be on the standard Bodystat equation. We also have the COPD equation, competitive athletes, children, geriatric, over 70, and the alternative equation, which is used for super thin people, for anorexics, for example. But normally we just keep it on the standard Bodystat equation. And metabolic equations are here. So all this is explained in the user's guide. And you can actually change the waist-hip ratio to waist height if it suits your needs a bit better. We've got normal ranges here, which usually you wouldn't worry about changing because they're all standardized. But if you do have a particular population group and you do need to change them, you can do so here. We have made them all editable, so you can do that. Units as well, quite a useful section. You can change, kilograms to pounds, stones and pounds for the English for the UK, centimeters, inches, and you can just go through that and customize it. This is just our license agreement, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's pretty much the software in a nutshell. The user's guide is up here on the right hand side. Just click the question mark and that's got all the information with great detail on how to use the software and what each function is used for. So I hope you enjoy the software. If you do have any problems, please feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. Thank you.